recent manufacturing PMI hit a score of north of 52. It's the best score since August of 2022. What should that tell Americans about manufacturing activity possibly surging under the Trump administration?
Well, the president's tariffs are working, and his economic agenda is working. When you combine tariffs and reshoring American manufacturing and investments in this country, which the president has played a huge role in directly recruiting those investments from countries and companies all over the world to the United States, you're creating jobs. We've seen construction jobs have surged in the past few months. That's because those factories are being built right here in the United States, and we're putting Americans to work. So our manufacturing sector is obviously something the president cares a lot about. That's why he's so determined and dedicated to his tariff policy, which, as you all saw yesterday, the president struck another great trade deal with India. He spoke with Prime Minister Modi directly. They share a very good relationship. India committed to not only no longer purchasing Russian oil, but buying oil from the United States, also perhaps from Venezuela too, which we know will now have a direct benefit on the United States and the American people. And in addition to that, Prime Minister Modi committed to $500 billion of investments into the United States, including for transportation, for energy, and for agricultural products as well. So this is another great trade deal thanks to President Trump.
New Delhi is making one thing clear: India will not be boxed in. After US President Donald Trump claimed that India has agreed to stop buying Russian oil under a new India-US trade deal, Moscow has pushed back firmly. The Kremlin says India is free to buy oil from anywhere. And more importantly, Russia says there is nothing new or surprising in India diversifying its crude suppliers. From New Delhi's point of view, this is about strategic autonomy, not submission. India has never tied its energy policy to the preferences of any single country. Russia has openly acknowledged this, saying Moscow is not the only oil supplier to India and that New Delhi has always sourced crude from multiple nations. Moscow also said it has received no official communication from India about stopping Russian oil purchases.
Претензии президента США на право указывать независимым государствам, с кем им торговать, они не новы. Также хорошо известна позиция Индии, которая неоднократно высказывалась руководством этой страны, руководителями Индии и в контактах с российскими коллегами и публично. А именно в вопросах внешнеэкономического сотрудничества Нью-Дели руководствует исключительно национальными интересами, принимая суверенные решения, исходящие из коммерческой целесообразности. У нас нет оснований полагать, что индийские друзья пересмотрели свой подход, по-прежнему убеждены, что закупка Индии российских углеводородов выгодна обеим странам и содействует поддержанию стабильности на международном энергетическом рынке. Мы готовы продолжать тесную кооперацию в этой области с нашими партнерами в Индии.
The numbers tell a powerful story. India currently imports around 1.3 to 1.5 million barrels of Russian crude per day. That makes India the second largest buyer of Russian oil globally. Nearly one-third of India's total crude imports now come from Russia. This shift happened after 2022, when Western nations walked away from Moscow and India stepped in to buy discounted crude to protect its economy and consumers. India imports nearly 88% of its oil needs. That reality shapes every decision New Delhi takes. Energy security is not optional, it is essential. Russian oil helped India keep fuel prices stable when global markets were volatile. Moscow's foreign ministry has openly said this trade benefits both countries and helps maintain stability in the global energy market. Experts say a complete switch away from Russian oil is not realistic. Russian crude is heavy and sulfur-rich. US shale oil is light. Indian refineries are designed for specific blends. Replacing Russian oil with American crude would raise costs and disrupt refinery operations. Even Russian energy experts say the United States cannot match the volume India currently gets from Russia. There is also a larger geopolitical memory at play. When Russia cut production in 2022 after losing Western buyers, oil prices shot up to $120 a barrel. The US saw record high fuel prices. That lesson has not been forgotten in New Delhi. India's position today is consistent and clear. Trade deals do not dictate foreign policy. Energy decisions will be guided by national interest, price stability, and supply security. Diversification does not mean abandonment, and cooperation with one partner does not mean cutting off another. For now, Moscow's message aligns closely with India's long-held stance. New Delhi is free to choose, free to diversify, and free to decide what works best for India's economy and its people.